Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming.
Only chance Kenyans have to change this country because we are
Wajackoyah the fifth, very nice.
Underestimating the power of the unknown. My God who works with me knows the answers, and I'm the next president of this country.
Beba. Why?
I've always done what I've promised. For the last 62 years I've lived in this world. Whenever I promise you something, I'll do.
Youth washaamua kuwa Wajackoyah the fifth. Mimi nishaamua Wajackoyah the fifth, okay? 2022, this feature will be Wajackoyah's.
Good evening and welcome to the Pope Paul VI Learning Resource Center at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa in Nairobi. My name is Francis Gashuri of Citizen TV and Inoro TV.
Na jina langu ni Zubeida Kome kutoka kituo cha KTN News. Karibuni popote pale mnapotupokea katika mjadala huu kati ya wagombeaji wenza wa kiti cha urais katika uchaguzi ujao wa mwezi Agosti.
This is the first of two debates involving running mates of the four candidates cleared to run for president. In this debate, we are hosting Ruth Wangoi Musheru, the deputy presidential candidate for the Agano Party, and Justina Wamboi Wamae, the deputy presidential candidate for the Rhodes Party.
Na kulingana na maelekezo yanayothibiti hafla hii, wagombeaji wenza wa urais wana muda wa dakika 90 za malumbano kati yao wenyewe, malumbano ambayo pia yataelekezwa na maswali kutoka kwangu Zubeida na mwenzangu Francis Gashuri. Maswali ni yetu wenyewe na hayajajadiliwa kati yetu na yeyote yule ndani au nje ya kampeni husika.
And indeed, our questions are clustered into 6 segments, each running for 15 minutes. As per our debate rules, each candidate has 2 minutes to make an opening statement, 2 minutes to answer a question, and 60 seconds for a rebuttal. The topics have carefully been selected through a thorough assessment of sentiments over Kenyans across the country.
Na maelekezo yetu pia yanashauri na kuwataka wagombeaji wote kuendeleza mjadala huu kwa lugha, nia na njia zinazohifadhi heshima kati yao, kati yetu hapa na hata kwa watazamaji wanaofuatilia matangazo haya mbashara. Hii ina maana kwamba lugha isiyofaa, ikiwa ni pamoja na maneno yanayoweza kupewa tafsiri ya matusi, hayataruhusiwa kwenye mjadala huu.
The same responsibility shared by the audience seated here in the auditorium. Debate rules do not permit any cheers or jeers, except now, when we turn our attention to the debate platform to welcome the deputy presidential candidates, Justina Wamae and Ruth Musheru.
Naam. kulingana na kura ambayo imepigwa awali kuambatana na wanaowania wakiwa wagombea wenza kwenye kinyang'anyiro cha urais kwenye uchaguzi mkuu ujao, Justina Wamboi Wamai wa Roots Party ndiye amepata nambari ya kwanza, kumaanisha kwamba ndiye atazungumza akiwa wa kwanza, na vile vile tuko naye Ruth Wangoi Musheru wa chama cha Agano. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Welcome, ladies, and for purposes of this discussion, allow me to refer to you as Madam Justina and Madam Ruth. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let me start with you, Madam Justina. You have 2 minutes
Yes.
to tell us why do you want to be Deputy President in the Republic of Kenya?
Thank you very much, Kashori and Zubeida, and thank you everyone who is here. We appreciate. Justina Wamai is emotionally intelligent. She's vibrant. She's someone who looks into the future. And given the fact that I was born in Kibera and I am where I am today, I feel I've achieved, which is encouragement to anyone at home. In 2013 and 2017, I must say I was a consumer of this production. I was at home watching, but today I'm part of the production. So I feel very humbled, and given that I understand the role of a DP, that you deputize the president in all execution of his duties, I am ready for it. My educational background in procurement, having a master's in procurement, links with the public service. We are out to run an efficient government, a government that looks into how we are managing our money. So that gives me the upper hand. And again, being 35 years a youth, I can resonate with the challenges the youth are facing. Besides, I had ran for Mavoko in 2017, member of National Assembly, and many people were asking why the member of National Assembly. My drive then was to go into National Assembly and formulate and sponsor bills that are youth responsive. So when I speak here, I know the plight of the youth, I know the plight of the women, and my focus is telling the Kenyans the truth, that it is not easy, but we are going to make it. The future is beautiful for Kenya, and that is what Roots Party stands for.
Naam, shukran sana Bi Justina. Bi Ruth, una muda wa dakika 2 kuanzia sasa kutueleza mbona unatosha kuwa makamu wa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Asante sana Zubeda. Nashukuru the media council that you have given us the chance to sell our manifesto and tell the Kenyans what we have for you. I am Ruth Wamboi Musheru. I am a daughter. I am a wife to one Mr. Mutua. I am a mother, and I'm here before you to tell you what Agano is coming to change and the required change that all Kenyans have been waiting for. And to ensure that whatever you desire and whatever you want to achieve, Agano gives you. And what our policy is that we bring the money back. Agano inarudisha pesa ya Wakenya.
Welcome. And once more, Madam Justina, the role of Deputy President is outlined in the Constitution. Yes. Do you understand that role well? And how would you utilize it if elected Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, together with your presidential candidate in the August 9th general election?
In the Constitution, the role of Deputy President is outlined in Article 147. The first sub-article says that you're to deputize the President and in the execution of his duties. I understand this because currently we're having challenges, and maybe it's because of the aspect that politics in this country has taken. Politics is about numbers, they say. Politics is about tribal inclination and who has the tyranny of numbers. But our idea as Roots Party is that every Kenyan is having the challenge of unemployment, high cost of living. So we are here to speak to an individual Kenyan, devoid of tribe. And when I stand here, how am I going to execute? My work is not to start fighting my boss and telling him, I brought this in, I am better than you in this. No, my role is to support the Roots Party manifesto, which, by the way, it focuses on economic upswing, which we shall discuss, and legalizing and regulation of marijuana, which we shall also discuss in length. So I understand my role well, and for me, I do know that there's a president who is the supreme, and then I come in as a support system.
Mm-hmm. Madam Ruth, similar 2 minutes to respond to this question. Your understanding of the role of Deputy President, yes, and how would you execute that function of Deputy President if elected in about 20 days?
We know that Deputy President is the second highest political seat. So my business is to assist the President. My business is to sit in while the President goes out on duty. My business is to ensure that this country runs as long as the President has given me the mandate to do so. So Kenyans will not have the gap. And for me to have been picked as the lady of Agano Party, I am coming in to bring a balance. I am coming in to bring a change and decision-making on the woman level and the youth level.
Bado una kidogo samahani, una dakika moja unusu, bado na dakika 20, sekunde 20, bado una la kuongeza au umekamilisha?
Makamu wa rais huwa anasaidia rais mwenyewe, huwa anasaidia kutekeleza majibu ile, the work that has been given to her in the presidential aspect. So my business is to assist. My business is to play the part of assisting and implementing what the captain and the 5th Mwaure David has stipulated.
Na hapo basi ndio nitaingia Justina. Amesema kazi ya makamu wa rais ni kusaidia. Je, mnakuja kusaidia tu? Mna mawazo? Ni watu ambao mnaweza kushauri, au mmechaguliwa kwa sababu nyinyi ni wanawake? Wewe binafsi umechaguliwa kwa sababu wewe ni mwanamke au ni kwa sababu una uwezo?
Kwanza hilo swali la kuwa wanawake, Ruth and I are assuring Kenyans, hakuna catfight hapa, si ndio?
Hakuna.
We are going to share and execute what Ruth's party requires. We are just not only supporting. The Deputy President has a role in giving their voice. And my role there is to amplify the youth voice, to amplify the women voice, because as it is where we are, I am happy because in leadership, you have women in leadership, but we need more. So our role is to put in that the women also can add value. We are here to represent, or I'm here to represent the Kenyan woman in the kitchen who knows the high cost of cooking oil. It's affecting her. I'm here to represent the women who fuel their own cars. I'm here to represent the stay-at-home women who, when you tell your husband to give you money, he starts thinking you're not spending the money well. Yet it is the economy that has deteriorated. There's so much inflation. So it is not just to support. That is part of it. Part of it is to amplify our agenda as women, who we have been left behind for a very long time in this development agenda. So kusupport na kuweka sauti zetu. Kama mimi, kama wanawake, na kama vijana.
Madam Ruth, what is your voice then? What, arguably in the political sphere, somebody would ask you, what do you bring to the table? So what do you bring to the table in terms of capacity, in terms of the understanding of this role, in terms of your ability to execute the functions of Deputy President, if Kenyans give you the nod in about 20 days in this election?
Okay, what I'm bringing in, one is the difference in leadership, that now, for the first time, to make history, is that we will have a lady deputy president. That, for me, is a key factor. I am coming in with intelligence, with my intelligence. I am coming in corruption-free. I'm coming in as a trustworthy person. I'm coming in to bring the development agenda that has been left out of the woman and the youth.
Na Bi Justina, inakutia wasiwasi kwamba kwa upande mmoja mnaonekana ni kama kidogo kama Roots Party mnakuja kukiuka maadili. Unaogopa kwamba hiyo inamweka kidedea Bi Ruth katika kinyang'anyiro hiki, kwamba unaonekana nyinyi mnakuja kuharibu, yeye inamweka kidedea katika kuvutia kura zaidi? Inakutia wasiwasi?
Sina wasiwasi kwa sababu Wakenya mahali wamefika. Mkenya amefinyika because uchumi umezorota. Idea zetu ni za kusaidia Wakenya. Kwa hivyo sina uoga wowote, niko hapa nitajibu maswali yote, because my role nilipoingia nilisema ni kudestigmatize manifesto ya Roots Party. Hata Ruth kabla anipige tukue na malumbano, ningependa asikize vizuri, ndio akiniuliza swali bibi from a point of her understanding. Kwa hivyo sina uoga wowote.
Na unaposema, nikupe dakika nyingine moja, unaposema hauna uoga wowote, awali nimesikia ukizungumza kuhusu tyranny of numbers. Nyinyi wawili yaonekana ni wageni katika ulingo wa siasa. Hauoni kana kwamba kuwa wageni kule kuna wapa ile disadvantage mkilinganisha na wale ambao pia wanagombea wadhifa huu wa kuwa naibu rais? Nyinyi ni wageni kwenye ulingo wa siasa.
Ndio, naweza kuwa mimi ni mgeni, lakini mgeni huja na heri njema. Miaka 30 tunaobishana nao wamekuwa kwenye siasa. Tyranny of numbers imetumika kila saa kusema watu wetu, watu wetu. Lakini kama iko sahi, ni kila Mkenya awaze ajiulize, hawa viongozi ama hii serikali inanifaidi aje kibinafsi. Kwa hivyo mimi na Roots Party tunaleta a mind shift, change of mindset. Mkenya akuwe selfish kivyake, aseme ingawaje kabila langu liko uongozini sijasaidika, lakini hawa hata kama sio kabila langu wako na agenda na wanataka kupeleka Kenya mbele. So I'm not scared in any way.
Anakutisha Ruth? Anakutisha Justina?
Not at all, not at all. Tuko hapa kuleta mabadiliko ile Wakenya wanatarajia. So we are coming in to bring the change. Hii ni uongozi mpya. We are not frightened with the fact that there is tyranny of numbers. Those are numbers. But the actual fact is Wakenya wamechoka. Tumekuja kuleta mabadiliko ile wamekuwa wakingojea.
Madam Ruth, 30 more seconds. Where are those numbers unasema, you also have your numbers. Where are those numbers?
The numbers are there, Francis. You know, as the fifth, Mwaure Wahiga said, some of these research institutes have been sponsored. So what they are doing to us and the Kenyans is reverse psychology. So that means they're trying to say the tyranny of numbers has an upper hand. Lakini ninataka kueleza kuna mabadiliko na agano iko site, watu wakate simu.
Na vile vile Bi Justina,
Yes.
Tunapoangalia katika uongozi na katika nafasi ambayo mmesema kwamba mnaielewa vyema ya makamu wa rais, tuseme kwa mfano kesho mgombea urais kwa tiketi ya Roots Party awe kwamba hawezi kuongoza, tuseme umechaguliwa, nini ambacho kinakupa hiyo motisha au uweze kuwa na ule ushawishi wa kuwa kwamba unaweza kuongoza kama rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya? Kweli unatosha kuongoza kama rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya?
Zubeida, ukiangalia leadership iko na two aspects, the hard and the soft. The hard ni what you have been doing, legislations and regulations. But the soft is you talk to the hearts and minds of Kenyans. Hearts of minds of Kenyans inasema 5.5 million of Kenyans are unemployed. 1.2 million of Kenyans live below the poverty line of 220 shillings daily. That is what Kenyans are speaking about. Na hiyo ndio inanipatia courage, nasema ingawaje labda amwezi jizungumzia, mimi najitoa na nazungumzia. That is the truth of the matter, that Kenyans are struggling. Pia niko hapa, I'm representing the many parents who take loans to educate their children. Unajua wazazi wetu wakati walikuwa wanaona ati wao wakichukuliwa kazi ilikuwa after form 4 wanaenda kazi kwenye benki. But now our time, mzazi hiyo time akaona labda degree ndio itasaidia mtoto wangu apate kazi. Unfortunately, hakuna kazi, wazazi wamejekelea loans. Kwa hivyo mimi nazungumzia wazazi wetu, nazungumzia ule youth hana kazi, nazungumzia mpaka wale watu ambao in 1998 kulikuwa na bomb blast. Our Kenya wengi, over 3,000 were never compensated. And this comes to the respect. Unajua wenye walilipwa ni watu wa American Embassy and the Tanzanians and those Americans who are victims. But Kenyans were not compensated. In my thinking, mtazamo wangu ni kwamba hawakulipwa kwa sababu Kenya haipewi heshima. Utapewaje heshima na una pesa? Angalia Middle East. Wakenya wanaenda kutafuta greener pastures, wanatesekea huko. Many a times people ask ati ambassador anafanya nini? Lakini niulize, ambassador na pesa ya mafuta, sisi hatuna, ni madeni tumejaza tele. Atawezaje kusimama na huu mwingine? So our idea na Kenya kinanisukuma ni kwamba tunataka Kenya ipewe heshima, and we want when we talk, venye mzungu alisema put your money where your mouth is, tuweze kuongea juu tuko na nguvu.
Madam Justina, 1 minute. There's something that has come up about sponsorship. Are you being sponsored by anybody, your ticket to run for this presidential race?
No, we are not being sponsored. And this is a question I'm posing. Why should we have the best ideas than the sponsoree, if that's the question? Our idea is unique, we are fresh, we are new, we are not being sponsored. The challenge we are facing is that when we say that this one is doing well, people say we are being sponsored by the other. When we say we anafanya vizuri, tunasema si hivyo. But the politics you are pushing right now is that politics you are doing. Politics is about amplifying the voices of Kenyans, giving different interest groups their voices. Na mwenye anashinda tunampa heshima. So we are not being sponsored by anybody. We are here mpaka mwisho.
Ruth, where do you get the impression that they are being sponsored by anyone?
Clearly, wanakatata kutupatia even our own marks. In school, even the student who has 0, huwa anarudishiwa karatasi yake na scorecard. Lakini sasa our research institutes wamekuwa sponsored, wanatoa huyu mtoto mmoja, which I seriously think that ni kupunguza, wanapunguza namba zetu. Probably we could be a threat because Kenyans are tired. They want new leadership.
Na haswa iwapo hampati ufadhili au msukumo kutoka kwa mtu yeyote, haswa nani anafadhili kampeni zenu kama Roots Party?
Our mode of campaign ni kama ile ilitumika na PM wa India, Modi. Wakenya wamechoka in a way, they tell us come to Nakuru. Tunawaambia hatuna pesa. Someone tells you end of fuel kwa petrol station yangu, ama wanajiunga wenye petrol station, fuel there. Mwingine lala in my hotel, I'll give you food. Bora mkuje Nakuru muongeleshe watu. That is our mode of campaign. And by the way, hakuna pesa si tumeibia Mkenya. And that is what hiyo kasumba tunataka kubadilisha. Kenyans, I blame you for poor leadership. Because kila sasa ya siasa watu wanasemanga kameiva, tunakafunga. Because mwanasiasa akikuja, you want to be given something. Hiyo ndio ina motivate wanasiasa kuiba, wakiingia ndani, they recoup. There's return on investment. Haizi ekelea pesa yake hapo alafu afikiria ati unakula freely. No wonder we have bad leadership. Kwa hivyo wewe Mkenya ukiona watu wanakuja campaign, usituchukie juu hatuna kitu. Sisi tuko na idea ya kupeleka Kenya mbele. In the next 5 years tukiwa kwenye kiti, mtakuwa mnatupatia pesa ya campaign.
Na labda ni kuongeza dakika moja. Je, Roots Party inakuja kuharibu kura ya vijana na kuharibu vijana?
Naweza sema nobody owns anyone's vote. Our role hapa ni kuambia wa Kenya that there is alternative. Si kila siku hiyo 30 years mmeambiwa ati tunafanya hivi. No, ours is to give alternative. No one owns any vote. Na Mkenya usiogope kupigia Roots Party kura ati because wewe ni wa nani. And there's also another question. Kenyans are saying you should have started earlier. Let me say this. Official campaign period began on May 29th, 2022. So hakuna mapema tungekuja because we follow the law. Number 2, we have not yet gone into election. So you can vote for Roots Party, usiogope ati jueni wa mtu mwingine. And finally, wa Kenya, kuambiwa that you're owned by someone is negating on our gains on democracy. This debate here has to achieve the purpose. The purpose is to convert the many Kenyans who we never find during the campaign trail, lakini wako kazini. So musikize na tuendelee pamoja.
Bi Ruth, labda kuambatanisha na hilo, mmeonekana kutoridhika sana na yale ambayo yanaendeshwa na Roots Party. Mna wasiwasi eti kwamba wanakuja kuharibu vijana, kwa nini?
Tuseme ukweli. Marijuana, bangi, we say it is illegal. Sasa hii sera wanakuja kuuza, tunangoja kusikia venye wataweza kutuzia sisi wenyewe, and already it is an illegal substance. So how do we work around such manifestos? So maybe Justina will let us know further how far they can go with marijuana. I will give an example of kijana moja alikuwa anafanya kazi some place that I lived back then. Alikuwa anafieka nyasi at 11 p.m. Na nikenda nikamuuliza, so I asked him the following morning because I had the noise from outside. Nikamuuliza what happened. Okay, I had heard the history that anavuta bangi. So I asked him in the morning, kwa nini ulikuwa unafieka nyasi saa 5 za usiku? Akaniambia, madam, nilikuwa napunguza kazi ya leo. So realistically, kama unapunguza kazi ya leo kufieka nyasi 11 p.m., I think kuna shida na tunaweza kuwa tunaelekea in the wrong direction.
Madam Justina, now you seem eager to say something about that?
Yeah, I'm happy Ruth is very respectful and she wants to listen to our manifesto. Let me say this. Our idea, and Kenyans, I want us to be very conscious and, open up your minds. And before I explain, let me give you a quote by a guy called Ralph Waldo. He said, in every generation, there are map makers who see opportunities, seize the opportunity, and open man's vision to the future. That is the direction Roots Party is taking. Now, marijuana, it's true, it's unfortunate. By the way, it's true, many people get that I have seen. I cannot say that they are not there. But remember, most people have mental challenges because of one, unemployment, cost of high living, that brings about depression. Halafu unaona watu wanapigana kwa malumbano, so high cost of living can account for the madness in this country. Actually, in Mathare, or rather the statistics in Kenya, 3 million of Kenyans suffer mental challenges. Why is it so? And yet marijuana is illegal. But let me say this, the marijuana we are advocating for. I'm happy that Kenyans have all gone through a science class in primary, a biology class in high school. There's something called species, or cousins of plants. The marijuana is a plant, yes.
No.
Marijuana is
muda umekwisha, lakini
Umekwisha.
nitakuongezea sekunde 30 kabla nirudi
Haya.
kwake Ruth. Wewe binafsi umewahi vuta bangi?
Sijawahi na sitawahi. Sijawahi na sitawahi.
Hujawahi na hautawahi?
Ningependa Zubeida usikize hapa.
Kidogo
Ehe.
niulize swali kisha
Yes.
utanijibu, na nitakupa dakika 2 kuweza kueleza. Hujawahi kuvuta bangi na hautawahi kuvuta bangi.
Ile tutavuta
Mbona-
ni ya ku
mbona-
purify. Ehe.
Na mbona mruhusu
Yes.
vijana na mbona mhubiri kitu ambacho wewe binafsi haukiamini? Mbona uhubiri mvinyo ilhali wewe unakunywa maji?
Haya, tulia Zubeida usikie mambo. Now, Kenyans, like I said, you are here to open up your vision to the future. There are 2 species of marijuana, or they are cousins, let me say that. Cousin moja anaitwa THC, which has the psychoactive ingredient. That is the cannabis sativa that you hear all the time, imeshikwa na watu wa DCI. But sisi focus yetu ni CBD, or cannabis. That one gives you industrial hemp. So when you go hata venye professor anasema itapandwa kwa expressway and you pick a leaf and chew, it's only going to give a detox, let me tell you. And saiji watu wako na simu zao. Can you Google hemp seed sales in Kenya? Those products are in sale because zinakwambia zinakupatia immunity, zinakupatia sijui omega 3, unaona, it boosts your immunity. Those products are on sale and they do not have the psychoactive ingredient yenye inafanya watu wana lose focus. That is the bang you are advocating for. And industrial hemp is used in 9 sectors, namely textile, construction, magari, makeup. Unaona hii makeup tumejipaka. The options, food and beverage, the options are many. So we are not here. And let me tell you Kenyans, consumption ama kuvuta ni kitu kidogo sana.
Ruth, unamwamini?
Simwamini. Ya kwanza
Read the
amesema
book.
ni ya kupurify. I don't know what we are purifying with bang. I don't know what part we are purifying. Kwa hivyo ningetaka
explain.
aweze kutuelezea kama ni damu tunaosha, kwa sababu kama ina purify na ni dawa, si tuapishwe 10th alafu 11th hospitali zifungwe kwa sababu ni dawa. Let us hear, how does it purify? I would wish to know.
Nimjibu Ruth, purifying si ati detox, kuna difference. Nimesema purify si detox. Kwa hivyo una need dawa ndio. And most medicine is made out of marijuana. Those medicine for epilepsy, cerebral palsy, pains, easy pains, watu wanakuanga chronic pains. So medicine inatengenezwa from marijuana. So already you're consuming. But nimesema purification process.
I
Purification
don't think I
process,
am.
angalia, purification process ni, we have a challenge in this country, mainly corruption. 2 billion is lost every day, we were told that. But you know corruption stems from what? Scarcity mentality. There are no other options in this country to make money. So everyone wants to go into politics where the salaries are lucrative. So your scarcity mentality, unaingia, you amass for yourself. So we are going to be purifying the scarcity mentality and the bad impact of corruption, colonialism, tribalism. Hizo vitu ni spiritual and we are going to purify them. Ndio ziishe kwa hii nchi. Ndio tukianza kazi, ile siku tutaapishwa, Kenya ikuwe safi, clean slate. So we are not smoking ati kufurahisha Wakenya.
Justina, umesema how you don't take the substance. Na umesema that means we are all consumers of bang through medicinal,
Medicine, yes.
the medicinal part of it. So that means then why are we having it legal in our constitution? So what is the reason why we have not legalized it from the beginning? That means kuna madhara ile wataalamu wanajua ndiposa hawajapitisha hapa kwetu Kenya.
Let me answer Ruth. Ukiangalia NACADA ilipatiwa gazettement in 2001. The economic challenge at that time, we had a government, a new election was coming up in 2002. There was teacher strike, banker strikes, the economy was doing badly. So IMF told Kenya, come up with a law criminalizing marijuana. And you know IMF ni akina nani? China is there, France is there, UK is there, Canada is there, US is there, they have legalized. So for them waliona, our jinga Joanna do, let me use that word, we give them, we curtail their opportunities. Remember, we have arable land, plenty of land for this thing. So they curtailed our potential to invest in this so that they can give us loans on high interest. That was the idea. And when I say Kenya inastahili heshima, it's because we are disrespected juu hatuna pesa. So our idea, if they have legalized, yet they're the same ones who are coming here to tell us it's wrong, then I think we are still being colonized.
Aki Justina, mi sija approve hiyo.
I don't expect you to do
Sija approve
manifesto
kwa
yako.
sababu Jamaica would have been a first world country.
They are doing so well in terms of the economy. Their GDP is
Oh,
great, more
basi-
than ours.
imekaa
let me tell
sana,
you.
basi
They are
imekaa
doing
sana.
well. They are doing well. Take a book.
Madam Justina,
Yes.
in 2 minutes,
Yes.
marijuana is not just illegal in Kenya. It is also illegal in other countries.
Yes.
We've also seen situations in this country where certain people grow marijuana. Why have they not been rich if growing marijuana was such a lucrative business?
When you look at our neighbors, let's talk about Africa. Malawi has legalized for medicinal and it's restricted. Uganda is doing it, but it's the Israeli government who have come in to help them. As it is with their loan, Uganda was about to go the Sri Lanka way. So Uganda went to Israel. Their land is rocky. So they came here and they were located in Uganda, 500,000 acres, in terms of a bilateral agreement, and they are reaping returns from that. So the other countries, they have done it. Why not us? Why not us? Why should we not do it? That is my question. And like I said, our role is to open the vision, Kenyan's vision, into the future. Marijuana is versatile. I said it is used in 9 sectors: food, beverage, medicine, construction, textile, makeup, easy fibers za gari. A headlight today, ukigongewa headlight yako, goes for 27,000 for those who own cars. But you know why? Because the demand is in Kenya, but the supply iko China. So of course the forces of demand are in place, na ndio maana inakuwa costly. And I'll say this, there is this governor of Minnesota, he was called Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura was in wrestling a while back. But why he was fighting for legalization of marijuana in Minnesota was because after 41 years of marriage, his wife suffered epilepsy. And he was pushing because when he took her to South Carolina, she got well. So the idea is do not control the supply, control the demand by making sure it's going into the 9 sectors that you have said and for export. That is our idea.
Madam Ruth, I can see disbelief all over your
Yeah,
your face.
I still do not agree to all this theory. Na ndiposa naambia wa Kenya, kateni simu, agano iko side. This is not practical. The law tells us clearly that it is illegal to have bang. So how else, na amesema, na yeye mwenyewe alisema ama amesema sahi, that they will smoke bang on the 10th. I'm looking for a happy mother. I am a mother.
Ruth,
I'm
we are
looking
going- we
for
are
a
going to
happy
smoke
mother
CBD, not
that
THC.
will, no, I am
CBD.
looking, allow me to answer. I'm looking for a happy mother who will attest that mtoto wake amevuta bangi and they are okay. Yeye mwenyewe pia najua ni mama. Nataka kujua, atakubali mtoto wake avute bangi on that 10th. Because for me, I don't think I would allow my children to take it up, nor my sisters and brothers.
Good question. And I'm going to answer this question to you and Kenyans as Mama Wambui. I said, open up your minds, dear Kenyans. The marijuana we are advocating for is industrial hemp. I think I gave the clarification, not THC. So Ruth, stop belaboring this idea that we are smoking. It is not for consumption. And is it smoking? It is for purification. You can even put it in those things, you unaichoma mahali, inatoa scent. So it's not smoking, it's purification. There's a difference.
Aki wa
And it's
Kenya,
true,
bangi
and
for
it's true.
scent.
It's true, Ruth.
Okay.
Mothers are suffering. Let me say this. I don't want to come off like I don't relate. I have seen mothers are suffering. And that is why Ruth's party has said, anyone who attempts to grow cannabis sativa, we are growing CBD or cannabis. We already have regulations in place. Number 1, we license all farmers. Number 2, we'll introduce agricultural officers to go around this country looking at those farmers and what they're doing. And there's a distinction. Even you, Kenyan, you can report someone growing sativa. Why? The leaves of industrial hemp are very large, but the leaves of sativa are very small. So the agricultural officers will control licensing. So I think we're already controlling this measure.
Let me give you 1 more minute to explain this. This is the theoretical talk about agriculture in terms of growing marijuana. What are the practicals? Have you identified the areas that you intend to grow this marijuana? What are the economic returns if this was to be allowed, if you're to become deputy president?
Okay, marijuana is going to spur up our economy because agriculture has been given a backseat. The challenge you're having now because of FLA, many of the Kenyans or the youth who are in the bread basket of Kenyans have migrated to the urban areas to do what? To be boda riders. They're thinking there's money because agriculture, they're not viewing it like it has money. So these are the returns. Look at China, for example. In 2021, they made 1.2 billion USD out of 169,000 acres. That is China. Now, look at our case. And by the way, land in Kenya, when you look at the NLC report, Kenya is close to 144 million in acres. 80% they say is dry and arid. 20% is what we are using. So when you bring marijuana will be like crop cover to stimulate our soil so that it can be able to produce other things. So we are focusing on the arid area, the 80% of it. 20% of it is where Kenyans are crowded. So we'll open up space so that we use all the other land that we have.
Bi Ruth, kidogo kuambatana na kile ambacho wamesema, unadhani uchumi wa Kenya haujaimarika kwa sababu hatujahalalisha bangi? Wakenya wanaumia kutokana na gharama ya maisha kwa sababu hatujahalalisha bangi?
Hapana, sikubaliani na hiyo. Uchumi umezoroteka kwa sababu ya corruption. And that is why Kenyans, we are coming in to bring in a new leadership, a new change in how things run in this country, and give Agano Party, Mwaure Waihiga, the chance to come and be the president of this country. Corruption has eaten us up. In every corner of each sector, corruption has eaten us up. It's not that we do not have bangi, lakini corruption imetukula sisi wenyewe. We have eaten ourselves up. And a few of us know ourselves. So we are going to deal with that.
Let me add something quickly. Okay, when you look at private businesses, they look at what is our competitive edge. How can we be ahead of our competitors? So not that uchumi imeharibika because of no legalization of bangi. Of course, I agree with Ruth, corruption should be blamed. But look at this situation, that if private businesses are looking into the future, why is government scared to look into the future? And the future is legalization of industrial hemp or marijuana. So our idea as Roots Party is to run a profitable government, devoid from increasing taxes from Kenyans, from getting further debt, but we are going to look for our own money. Our own money will come from legalizing a regulation of marijuana. Case in time, a pilot study will be Kulalu Galana, the 1 million acre project. Iyo equal 1 million, that is times 5 of what China got in 2021. So we'll have 6 billion USD. You can do the math in Kenyan shillings. That money is money that will be used to pay teachers, pay the civil service, increase their salaries in trenches. So for us, tunaangalia competitive edge, what private businesses do.
Niulize Justina swali kidogo. Kuna kuanga na employee incentives. Ukifanya kazi kwa bakery, huwa wakati mwingine unapatiwa mkate uende nayo nyumbani. Na je, bangi wataenda nyumbani na nini?
Wataenda nyumbani na, very good question. Wataenda nyumbani na proceeds of bangi. And it's good you brought me to this idea. The youth in this country, not all of them want to be employed. But hawa vijana wanatafuta capital. Unaenda bank unaitishwa logbook, title deed. Kweli, you don't have. What we are going to do with Roots Party, I told you government owns 10% of 144 million acres. In every county, government land will give 200,000 acres to our youth. We'll have a thing like the Yali project, which we are calling Roots Entrepreneurship Initiative. Tunafanya competition, tunachukua 50,000 youth. Kwa hiyo mradi ya 200,000 acres. Na ujue bangi grows in 4 months. So akishauza hiyo bangi yake, hiyo proceeds, 2.8 million according to hesabu za China, youth atakuwa na capital, seed capital ama capital to boost their business. So you won't take home bangi, Ruth. You'll take home capital for investment.
But ni illegal, lakini bado watu wanavuta. I don't know how we will deal with those incentives.
So those are the challenges in this country. In fact, we should ask the ones who are in government now. Why is it illegal and Kenyans are smoking? That's the question to them.
Kwa hivyo Ruth, kwako wewe ni kuhalalisha kutohalalisha bangi au ni swala la maadili?
Kutohalalisha, the constitution does not allow.
Lakini unaona kwamba inahujumu maadili?
Sorry?
Inahujumu maadili au haswa tatizo lenu kama Agano Party ni kwamba bangi ni mbaya, haistahili kuhalalishwa au ni swala la maadili?
Ni maswala ya maadili na si Agano Party, ni wa Kenya. Kama it is already legal, it is currently illegal. So how safe is it? How safe is it when we start taking it up? That means we are destroying a whole generation. We're destroying our children. I am concerned as a Kenyan.
So you're being unfair to Ruth. You know Ruth cannot support our manifesto, so it's true atasema ni mbaya.
Kenya. Let me give you some 60 more seconds, Ruth.
Yes.
Is it a question of faith and values that drives your opposition to the Roots Party's manifesto and proposal to engage in marijuana farming?
It is more values. It is more value and faith too, yes. It is more values and faith too. Because I'm trying to look at, right now, currently what is happening in Kenya right now. Nirudie statement. It is illegal. Lakini watoto wamejaa madhare. Wamama wanalia pale nje. So I'm wondering, how many are smiling? How many are going to smile? How many are educated out there to know that hii ni biashara, mtoto hafai kuvuta? Children are idle out there.
Watajaribu kuvuta kidogo, and you know the consequence is going to be what we all know. Watoto tunapoteza ufahamu, tunapoteza future.
I think I was clear on the control measures on this, Ruth. Nilisema the seed will be CBD, tutatumia KEFIS, tutapatiana licenses, we'll reintroduce agricultural officers to man or inspect what Kenyans are doing, and we are also going to bring back the NYS, those ones who have graduated, to control government marijuana. So I think the control measures, and that is why we are saying legalize and regulate.
Unajua hata ile shamba iko thika pale ya mananasi iko na control measures, lakini bado watu wanaiba.
Sasa it is our
so,
Kenyans, we need to change tabia zetu venye Ruth anasema.
Yes, if you take electrical fence, I don't know. I don't know.
Very well. Let me move you now to a different aspect of this debate.
Yes.
In 2 minutes, Justina, you're not alone in this race to become the next deputy president. You also have Martha Karua, Rigathi Gachagua. What sets you apart from them? And are there issues that you agree with them and their manifestos, and those that you don't agree with? In 2 minutes.
Let me first say I respect the ones you've mentioned, because I remember 30 years ago, I was a young girl that had been in politics. So being on the same ballot paper with them is very humbling. And there are strides they have made, fighting for democracy of this country. So I respect that. But what sets us apart is that 30 years they have been there. They have been telling us the same narrative, which they're telling us now. They are not responsive to the youth of this country. Youth whose parents took out loans to educate them, and they're still living at home because they're unemployed. What sets me apart is because I can relate to the youth of this country who know that unasoma na hakuna kazi. That is number one. Number two, I can relate to the businessmen. Maybe them, they're in government, they've been in leadership. That is where they draw their salary. But I relate to a businessman, like from where I work now. We're into excavation and supply of building materials. And Kashori, I can tell you, business is down. Why? Increase of cement, chuma zimepanda bei, Kenyans do not have purchasing power to build a house. And that business is very satisfying, because you know our role is what? We are the first stroke of paint. When you want to build your house, sindo tunatoa cotton. But it saddens me that Kenyans cannot afford. They are not building, and neither are they affording to pay rent. So that is what sets me apart. I know that what we need now is policies and leadership that is responsive to the plight of Kenyans.
Madam Ruth, same question to you. This is a political competition. You're not in the race alone. Yes. What would you use to convince the Kenyan voters, to elect you as the next deputy president and not your competitors, Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, and in this case, Justina Wamai? Let's first talk about the other two who are not in this debate.
Yeah, at least for Justina, we have probably a lot in common because we are new, we are fresh. But our competitors, yes, they have experience, but they have let us down. I have voted for the last 2 decades. I have chosen the same leaders, so I don't see what difference they are coming to bring in, because I feel like some of them are sanitizing the leaders who have been there. We want new blood, we want fresh blood, fresh ideas, so that we gear this country to a different direction.
What is this new idea, fresh idea? What does it constitute?
Corruption. Our big agenda is corruption. It has eaten us in big ways and in every way. So corruption is our bangi. So that is what we are after. Then the rest will be able to be balanced out.
Justina, the same question. What about the larger coalition setup? You know, let's say the Azimio setup, the Kenya Kwanza setup. Do you see any challenge there that would inhibit you from becoming the next deputy president, for example?
No, I'm not challenged in any way. Kashori, I told you that Roots Party realizes it is wrong, it is very wrong that 5.5 million of Kenyans are unemployed. 1.2 million of Kenyans are below the poverty line of 220 shillings per day. So these people have been in government. I dare say that they are to blame for our current situation because they never looked into the future when they were there or the time they've been there. Maybe the future was telling them, legalize marijuana. It's going to set us apart in terms of competitive advantage. They didn't do it. So I'm not scared because every individual Kenyan, it doesn't matter what tribe you are, what creed or educational background, everyone is suffering. Let me tell you this. Ask a woman who has a salon or a man who has a kinyozi. Do you know boys are saying ati beard gang? It's not a maneno a beard gang. There is no money kukwenda kunyolewa. So Kenyans are lacking. Unaona pesa mkononi or the purchasing power iko chini. So I'm not scared because I'm amplifying the voices of Kenyans.
Right.
Bi Ruth, haswa kwa sababu umetaja maadili, umetaja ufisadi. Kwa kuwe unaelewa vipi sura ya 6 ya katiba? Maadili haswa kulingana nawe ni nini kwa dakika 2?
Rudia swali.
Maadili, integrity, kwa maoni yako ni nini haswa? Unaielewa vipi?
Maadili kwangu na kwa Agano Party is the intention to be transparent, is the intention to be trustworthy, an intention to be trustworthy to the Kenyans who have employed you. Kwa hivyo pale mimi naona the integrity has been compromised with the current and the past government and our competitors. Kwa hivyo tunaomba Wakenya waweze kutupatia nafasi. Kwa kuwa sisi ndio we are ready to be audited. We are clean. So why not give us the chance? We are not threatened by the other pair of competitors because they have been in it. Kenyans have seen. Kenyans know. This is nothing new to us. Ni kubadilisha tu tunahitaji kubadilisha. And Agano Party is coming in as the option ya kubadilisha.
Na kwa nini mnaamini kama Agano Party kwamba Agano Party ndio inakuza maadili na sio Roots Party? Mbona mnaona wao ndio wanahujumu maadili?
Maadili hapo ni personal. If I got your question right. Integrity is very personal. For me and the fifth, Maure Wahiga, he's entitled to audit. I'm entitled to audit. Ndiposa tunaweza kusimama mbele ya Wakenya kuambia, they trust us with this job. We have nothing to hide. We have no worry on what we need to do. Pale corruption tumesema lazima tutamalizana nayo. Pesa ile iko nje. I believe this is the only party and the governance that is going to bring Kenya back its money. Ile pesa imefichwa pale nje. The development money that has been kept out, that is over 10 trillion. Inaweza lipa deni ya Wakenya in one single day. Zubeda, one single day.
Justina, let me get your understanding of Chapter 6 of the Constitution on Leadership and Integrity. 12 years later, what do you think is the challenge in implementing Chapter 6 of the Constitution?
Let me say this. I think the judiciary, and I'm sorry to say this, but they are used to impede the Chapter 6. For example, if I went to IBC and they said my degree is not right, I'll run to court, and then the court will say, fine, can you clear Justina? And then there are other issues, there are other agencies. For example, maybe the university or the Commission of Higher University will say, no, it's out of our mandate, we can't handle Justina. So I feel that Kenyans have this attitude. When you do wrong, you run to court and your money will be used to sanitize you. And that is why as Roots Party, we are saying that if you're corrupt, if you're not doing the right thing, because integrity is focusing on your conscience, do the right thing irrespective of circumstances. So even those in the judicial system who are rotten, they are going to be subjected to what Roots Party is saying, hanging, because you're the ones who are impeding how Kenyans, the aspirations of Kenyans, when they're looking out for leaders who relate to their challenges. And not just leaders, but leaders who are within the Chapter 6 of the Constitution. So integrity is very key. And yeah, we are propelling it. Professor and I have not stolen any money. We've not been in government. We are genuine. And I always tell Kenyans, tupende bure, we don't have anything. Lakini, integrity is key. If we need to go ahead, we have to instill integrity. And let me give this quote because I have time. There's a quote that Mugabe says, how can you tell young people that education is the key, yet you have poor graduates and rich idiots? So the thing is, we have to make sure that the youth, the younger generation, I'm sure right now they're watching because their parents are watching,
the younger generation needs to move away from this idea of deals. And our idea, Gashori, means that you shouldn't be my friend to benefit in government. You have your own marijuana. You don't need a deal. You don't need a tender from government because Justina is your friend. Wekele industrial hemp yako will pay you according to the market price.
Ruth, you've been in this country in the last 12 years.
Yes.
And you
Since
understand.
I was born.
Yes, and you understand Chapter 6 of the Constitution. When you look at it, what do you think has been the major impediment in the implementation of the leadership and integrity chapter of the Constitution?
That is lack of will. We have leaders that are not willing to change for this country. So just as much it's going to cost us, just as much I'd wish to tell Kenyans that without very big words, if we don't decide to change the leadership of this country, it will cost us another 5, 10 decades. So integrity is paramount to us as a Agano Party. We are the clean. We are the only option for Kenyan citizens. Tafadhali mtupatie kura. Tutakuja kuleta mabadiliko.
Give us practical examples of how you will deal with corruption and implementation of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, because there's the saying,
yes,
and there's the doing.
Agano Party has a covenant with Kenyans to abide to the constitutional law. And we say, if you do not follow the law will follow you. For us, nobody is above the law. If you have been in corruption, you will face the law. We are not hanging anybody.
Na umenielekeza mahali ambapo nilitaka kuelekeza wewe binafsi. Unadhani tutaweza kukabili ufisadi kwa kuwanyonga wale ambao ni watuhumiwa wa ufisadi?
Agano Party governance yetu si ya kunyonga, lakini tunaweza, we are able to deal with it in an amicable way following the law. I don't think even kunyonga is in the Constitution. So that means the one wana breach kuvuta bangi na the next wana breach kunyonga watu.
Bi Justina, mmesema kwamba mtasitisha katiba mtakapoingia mamlakani. Hasa mtakuwa mkitumia vigezo gani kuhalalisha hukumu ya kuwanyonga wale watuhumiwa ufisadi, namna ambavyo unasema kwamba mtawanyonga?
Na tujasema tutasitisha katiba as a whole. Tutasitisha parts. We will suspend parts of the Constitution that are not working. Chapter 6 is not working. Hiyo tutasitisha. Because we need to instill fear in public assets of the public. Let me tell you this. In China, if you're corrupt, you're shot. In UK, if you're corrupt, you're taken to court or you're jailed. In Japan, if you're corrupt, you're so scared, you commit suicide. So why is it that Kenyans are jittery about, we are crying every day, corruption accounts for this loss of money, but when it comes to executions, Kenyans are jittery. We are going to suspend Chapter 6. Go back to the Kenyans and tell them, what do you think about this hanging thing? And let me tell you, they are all very happy. They are saying that corruption is accounting to deaths. Look at the badly done roads like Ngong Road. Ngong Road is badly done, a local contractor, and we are assuming that the money was used as kickbacks and then they had to save some little money, so they didn't give qualities. So when that person dies or someone is in an accident and they die, it's not an issue. When medicine is stolen or medical money is stolen and people die because there is no medicine, it's not an issue. Let me tell you, Kenyans, it's about time we be stern on corruption. Our idea is instilling fear in the minds of Kenyans that public mali ya umma ipewe heshima.
Na hukumu ya kunyonga iliharamishwa mapema miaka ya 80. Haswa ni nini, ni kigezo gani ambacho mtatumia kuona kwamba sasa inaweza kufanyika? Kwa sababu ni kitu ambacho kimeharamishwa nchini Kenya. Ni kwamba mnaona kuna mapengo, kuna nafasi katika katiba ambayo mtarudisha hukumu hiyo, au haswa utekelezaji utafanyika vipi?
Unajua hii katiba, Zubeida, ilikuwa copy and paste. Watu walikimbia huko wanaona ati wazungu wanafanya aje. Na wazungu ama wa China ndio wanakuanga na hizo UN conventions ati human rights issues. Kama kwao they are shooting, where are they curtailing us? And that is why I'm saying Kenya haipewi heshima. We need to be firm on this because sisi ndio tunajua shida zetu. Hakuna mtu wa UN ama nani who are feeling our pain. Sisi wenyewe ndio tunalala njaa, sisi wenyewe ndio tunateseka, hatuna kazi. So we are going to look at it as Kenyans. In fact, katiba kama ingekuwa inafanywa public participation, ingekuwa ingetranslatiwa in all tribes. Mtu asiseme ati because nani amesoma niko sawa. No.
Ruth, the last time in this country somebody was hanged, a convict was hanged, was in July 1987. 35 years later, would you agree, would you support the hanging of convicts, and particularly those who have been found culpable of corruption?
Francis, I'll go back to the law. We have a covenant with the Kenyans. We have a covenant with the law. The law clearly stipulates we are not allowed to hang. So what business do we have hanging convicts? There is a law that enforces corruption, the people who have committed corruption. So for us, ni kumaanisha wakivuta bangi on the 10th, one, that is breach of law. Sijui kama hanging is part of it, because it is breach of law. They have broken the constitution. So I don't think I would agree that we need to suspend part of the law. We just need to probably sit with experts if we need to revise. But I don't think we need to hang people's life. People deserve to live and be corrected.
Ruth, there are very many injustices. Let me give, for example, Anglo-Gleason Golden Bag.
Yes.
Money was stolen in this country. So in your opinion, the Agano way, how would you do it if it's not hanging?
It is law. They follow law.
Which is?
Si tunafunga.
Wamefungwa. Watu Anglo-Gleason.
Sijaingizwa kwa ofisi. Tuingizeni Agano kwa ofisi muone. We will deal.
That is the question.
We will deal, but you know, if we are saying, why would we want to hang people? You have a sister, you have a brother who probably just needs to be corrected. So why hang?
Na wenye wanakufa because of road accidents, lack of medicine, au si wa Kenya, wenye watu wameiba, mtu anakufa.
That is unplanned. Here, KEMSA is planned.
Life is life, Ruth. Life is life.
No, KEMSA, the Anglo-Leasing, all this is planned. Mtu akigongwa na gari, that is very unfortunate. And God forbid. Those unfortunate instances, we cannot debate on
because
that.
Of road
but
design.
We are discussing about, surely,
road design.
We can.
Sorry.
We can.
Okay.
Kwa hivyo Bi Justina,
Yes.
Kama Roots Party, kwa kuwanyonga mtarejesha vipi mali ambayo wameiba? Mtatoa vipi mali ambayo imetumika vibaya, imeibwa, pesa ambazo mnasema zimefichwa katika mataifa ya ughaibuni? Ukinyonga yule mtuhumiwa, hiyo mali itarudi vipi kwa Wakenya?
Na wacha niseme, atusemi mtu akigongwa na gari anakufa. Nasema people who are given jobs, like to build Gong Road, for example, those people want to save on money. So the road design does not, they save money, so wana save pesa and wajenge barabara in a cheap way. But niseme hivi, there is a process, Zubeida. We are not just going to pick someone at because media imesema is they are corrupt. We are going first to remunerate, kuongeza mshahara vizuri, judges, policemen, we have to increase their salaries because they abet corruption because mtu ameiba pesa kidogo anawapatia. We have to give them, increase their salaries. However, there is a judicial process, a fair hearing. Go process ifanywe na tukusikize. Na pia tunapeana caution. It's not like the Chicken Gate case in the UK. Hapa Kenya taijaisha. So pia watu wa judiciary, they will notice they have to speed up this nini. So kutakuwa na hiyo wapelekwe the process. We have to get the assets back. We have to recall the assets na pia waende wakanyongwe.
Ruth,
sijui kama wote watakubali because if I know I'm being hanged, so why should I tell you mali iko?
There is a process. There is a judicial process.
Maybe the first two might be caught with the process ya rudisha mali alafu tunanyonga. But someone else will think, kama unataka kuninyonga, finish me, wacha wengine wakulie hiyo pesa. Okay, so I don't think I would justify that. But for us, we are saying the corrupt, we will go even for the big fish. Sisi hatuogopi, tunataka pesa irudishwe, ndio imeweza kuumiza economy ya hii country. We have, our president is planning to give a moratorium where the Kenyans who have stolen our money, wameficha development money, warudishe, wanapatiwa nafasi ya kurudisha. Hapo bale mtu anapitisha ile wakati umewekwa, so from there, the law takes its course.
In 2002 there was such. Why has it not worked? Maybe in your opinion, I'm not saying because you're not in government, yes. Ruth, but you need to show Kenyans that you understand. So, it was there in 2002. What in your opinion is, what is the reason why it didn't work out? The idea that you're sharing, in your opinion?
Leadership problems. Leadership problems, Justina. We are different leaders here.
Let's talk, because you seem to agree on the seriousness and the challenges of corruption in our country.
Yes.
Given an opportunity, Justina, in 2 minutes, given an opportunity to be the next deputy president with the government that you will form with the presidential candidate that you're supporting, what are the specific areas that you would target in terms of dealing with corruption, practically, because there's the whole question of administration of justice.
And like I said, the three arms of government are they are being threatened. How? The independence rather is being threatened. When, for example, the executive says this, someone runs to court, and then the process is stopped. That is the backdrop of why we are going to suspend the Constitution. But yes, administration of justice is there. But again, has it worked for us? And you know, law was made for man, not the other way around. It is upon us as Kenyans to sit and say, are you happy that 2 billion is lost every day? They say no, because it's accounting to unemployment, inflation, high cost of living. So we are going to we'll be together with the Kenyans. We are going to call for public participation. And the Kenyans, I can tell you, they are very happy about it. Because someone is feeling like, I wake up like in Meru, I wake up at 4 a.m. kuchukua hiyo mira yangu, I pack it. Someone is eating the taxes. Mtu anajifanya ndio mjanja kuliko wengine. So Kenyans are tired. Of course, that aspect is there of administration of justice. Lakini Gashori, Kenyans are suffering. So sisi tutaka participate now, and many of them are supporting this. We need to instill fear in assets of the public. Heshima kwa public assets.
Bi Ruth, haswa endapo mtaingia mamlakani, mnawapea Wakenya muda gani waweze kuona matunda katika vita dhidi ya ufisadi, na wewe binafsi mchango wako utakuwa upi katika kuona hilo linatimia kama makamu wa rais?
For us, we will bring in this in phases. Kuna ile pesa iko nje, in the money that is stashed illegally abroad. For that, we can even say we have started even implementing our 100 days. The fifth, Maure Waihiga already wrote a letter to the UN and 15 other countries to start processing our money back. That means tuna uhakika by the time we are getting in, kuna wezekano pesa iko imefika, and if not, tunataka kukata hii mfereji. The report that the incumbent president gave out, 2 billion. We actually think it probably could be 5 billion that we are losing a day, including today and until the 9th of August. So for us, tukiingia pale ndani, tunataka kukata hiyo mfereji ya corruption like instantly, so that we also have working capital to jumpstart the economy.
Na umetaja pale shilingi bilioni 5. Haswa kwa sababu umerejelea mara kadhaa pesa ziko nje. Yes. Ni pesa ngapi ambazo mnazizungumzia sasa hivi na mtazirejesha vipi haswa? Mmeweza kupiga hesabu mkajua ni ngapi na ziko wapi?
Ni zaidi ya trilioni 10. Na ndiposa nilisema pale awali, it is possible for us to clear our debt in a day. It is more than 10 trillion that is out there. This is development money. And that is why tumekasirika, tunataka kuleta hiyo pesa irudi Kenya. Tunaweza kosa kuleta na the first 100 days, lakini wa Kenya, we are committed to bring this money back. And in 2017-2018, budget ikisomwa, the Henry Rotich, he's on clip, he's on record, akisema there is money outside. Here hatuna confirmation that pesa ilirudi. It has only been accumulating over a time. Now, by the time we were getting into this candidature, it was over 10 trillion that is outside there.
Bi Ruth, unaona kwamba mikakati ambao wako nayo kama Agano Party kweli itasaidia katika kurudisha hizo pesa, na unaamini kwamba ni trilioni 10 ambazo ziko nje?
Okay, one thing I'm happy about, sababu Ruth and I agree that corruption in affect wa Kenya sana. Lakini mikakati zao are not practical. They lack the how question. How are you going to do it? Utanishurutisha aje pesa yangu iko huko Swiss account to return it? How are you going to force me? Kwa hivyo, the idea is good, but it's just an idea. It lacks practicality.
Moratorium. Tumesema tunapatiana moratorium. You know you have money outside there. We give you time to repent. Sisi Agano tunapatiana time to repent. You won't force kurudisha pesa. And remember, we have external and internal. Kwa hivyo pia hapa ndani, that's what I'm trying to say. We have already commenced the process ya kurudisha ile pesa iko nje. Hapa ndani, the local individuals, we will give them the chance to return, so that if they don't do that, sasa the law takes its course.
Hapo, in another 30 seconds, Ruth. Yes. When you say pesa ziko nje, give us specifics. Let me give you a minute actually. When you say pesa ziko huko nje, do you have the specifics? This amount of money is in this country, this amount of money is in another country, and is taken there by so and so. Do you have the specifics?
I may not be having the specifics, but we know the big fish that is having money out there. So, yes.
Justina, pesa ziko huko nje. Do you believe kuna pesa huko nje?
Okay, I believe juu tumeambua Pandora box kwa media, but sisi tunasema yaliyopita si ndwele. Kama mtu tushajua huyo mtu tutampeleka through the judicial process, we are going to recover their assets. Kwa hivyo pesa zikiwa huko nje, after the judicial process tutarecover. But mimi niseme hivi, there are so many injustices in this country. Anglo leasing, hizo zote, you know, post-election violence zote zimefanyika. Do we hold on to the fact that we shall never forgive? We want to punish people? I think we should take the direction of Rwanda. After everything that happened in the genocide, tukae hivi tuseme wenye wamehangiwa na we have recovered assets ni sawa. Mwenye amekata ahame Kenya because hatutaishi na yeye. But the fact remains, let us adapt a forgiving nature, put in firm policies on how to deal with this. And finally, give the opportunity. I said people are corrupt because of a mentality called scarcity mentality. Why are they corrupt? Because in government, unasikia MPs earning 1 million. Huku nje, there is nothing that you can be able to get in that value. So tukipeana opportunity of legalizing bangi, Kenyans will have money.
Maybe niongezee ni kusema, we are not saying we will not forgive anyone. Ukisema utarudisha pesa yetu, we have no reason, we do not have any reason ya kukupeleka ahead na kukuingiza ndani. We just want Kenyans to bring back development money. Sijui venye wao wata jumpstart economy, but that is a long-term strategy for us. Pesa irudishwe ndani. Tunapokata hii mfereji inapoteza pesa 2 to almost 5 billion a day. Tutapata nafasi ya kuweza kutengeneza our economy without having unnecessarily borrow more money out there. Kwa sababu nikisikia venye anasema, then that means wataongeza loan ile tuko nayo saa hii.
Roots Party is fighting to pay off the loan. The loan as it is 9 trillion Kenya shillings or 70 USD. 70 billion USD. Our idea is this, Ruth. Marijuana or industrial hemp takes 4 months to grow. And I gave an example that Kenya government owns around 14 million acres. Tufanye pilot test ya Kulalu Galana. In 4 months, to make industrial hemp, in 4 months, we are going to be able to recoup 6 billion USD. So we are in the process of paying. Hata tukisema Kulalu Galana ndio tunalipa nayo. In 3 years, 6 months, tutakuwa tumelipa deni, hiyo 9 trillion. Lakini, tuko na shamba, we have times 14, 14 million. So we are going to know how we are going to appropriate this land. But niseme hivi, our idea, and I tell Kenyans, I'm here to tell you the truth, the economy is messed up. You need an honest leader who tells you it's not going to be easy. But our idea is that don't even question us at the first 100 days. That one will be lying to you, atutafanya. But in 1 year, ask me as Justina, did you achieve to get the 50,000 times 2 youth who got 2.8 million each? Because I said marijuana takes 4 to 6 months to grow.
Right.
So in 1 year, tutaweza kufanya hivyo.
Ruth, let me now introduce a discussion on the cost of living.
Yes.
And I want to give you 2 minutes to tell us, in your understanding, what is the driver of this rising cost of living? And if elected president, let's say in the first 100 days, what would be the Agano proposals to reduce the cost of living?
I agree to what you're saying, and I think the 100 days for us, we will repeat that our agenda is corruption. Cost of living has been affected by corruption widely. And if we deal with corruption, I think Kenyans will smile back at us. And the first 100 days, one that was implemented yesterday, na ninajua unga haijateremka, 2 weeks ago, on our manifesto, we launched that. We will introduce the subsidy of maize. It was introduced yesterday. Now, Kenya wameambiwa to wait for 2, 3 to 4 weeks for it to be felt. Jana nimepitia kwa supermarket, bado unga ni 230. So for us, we still have to bring the subsidy for Kenyans to be able to eat, because a hungry nation is an angry nation. For us, we're also planning to implement the pay cutoff of 50%. I know you'll want to ask where the deficit is going to come in. Our repayment period for the loan is 1.3 trillion. And the financial year, the last financial year, KRA reported that the payment that was done through the payee was 461 billion. So if we cut off the payee by 50%, that is 230 billion deficit. If we come and cap the repayment period, the repayment of the 1.3 trillion, kumbuka tutakuwa na ile extra 300 ile tutakuja kusongesha pale kwa PAE so that we are able to run our activities as usual and even have a small surplus of 7 billion to run with. That being amongst them.
Do you agree with her and the proposals to reduce the cost of living?
Okay, first, I can't agree with her, definitely, but cost of living is occasioned by inflation, number one. Too few goods, but there's too much money in circulation. Number two, taxes. When manufacturers have the tax burden, they push it to the consumer, and the consumer is not having any salary increase. So that is the reason we're having this. So let me say this. We are not going to do the 100 days, that's a lie. But you ask us after 1 year when you get into office, that one, we are going to widen the tax base. Why? I said marijuana is used in 9 sectors, across 9 sectors. Example, paper. We are going to give life to pan paper. Pan paper had been given life, but again, the logging law came in, so they don't have raw materials. We'll have marijuana that will be used for that. So our idea is to drive local economies whereby a Kenyan, instead of importing something from China, like the people of Nyamakema, their stuff was burnt for lack of quality, let them organize themselves, have local industries. If it's textile, plastic, paper, printing paper by the way is very expensive. So when we have local economies, we are going to widen the tax base so that a corporate tax shouldn't be 30%. We can lower it because we have more in the tax net. Another thing is to ensure that we give conducive environment for business. As it is, businesses are not comfortable. They are saying that lack of the dollar in the country is impeding their purchasing power in the global supply chain. So when we give a conducive environment, the economies are going to be there, Kenyans are going to be employed, and then we are going to have money. Then the other youth who want to be employed in these industries can go into the other thing of investment that I said. We are going to empower the youth financially.
Kidogo hapo, hata kabla usonge sana, kwa sababu umesema kwamba hamtaahidi wa Kenya kwamba katika muda wa siku 100 mtafanya hivi na kadhalika. Awali ulituambia bangi inachukua muda wa miezi 4 kukua, na umetuambia kwamba hamtaahidi kwamba mtatimiza baada ya miezi ama siku 100. Kwa hivyo yule Mkenya anakutazama sasa hivi hawezi kumudu gharama ya kununua pakiti moja ya unga. Kwa hivyo unamwambia nini?
Huyo Mkenya nitamwambia that the truth is tumeteseka miaka 30. 1 year tunaweza vumilia, but we are putting in, Kenyans need an honest leader. As it is now, hii maneno ya kusarakasi na siasa is what is getting us here. We are being honest. We are saying, of course, they have put in the unga imeshukishwa bei. But sisi tukiangalia the truth, marijuana also gives flour. We can look at alternatives to the challenges. If maize flour is costly, then marijuana flour can cook ugali, can cook chapati. And then cooking oil, the seed produces cooking oil also. So tunaangalia kama hii ni expensive, we are going to use this. So the alternatives. So mimi naambia Mkenya, hatutawadanganya. Tumedanganywa miaka nenda miaka rudi. We are telling you the truth. Question us after 1 year.
Biruth, unaona Wakenya wavumilie, watumie unga ya marijuana?
Watalala njaa 365 days from the 9th.
But they know the truth.
But they will die. No, let's be frank. Of course, we do not need a list of 10 items. I would almost agree, but we do not need a list of 10 items kufurahisha wa Kenya that we can accomplish all this in 100 days. Tuweke vitu realistic. Mkenya aweza kupata chakula. Yule mama anaangalia watoto peke yake aweze kupata pesa ya kulipa rent, kulipa school fees. But telling Kenyans to wait for 1 year, I think it's a long time.
The truth is,
it's such a long
leadership
time.
Truth. And someone who's been in government, I know they're laughing at us, but the truth is, government policy is about trade-off. What is working for our country? What is working for our people? So if we come here and say, tutaangusha bei ya mahindi, farmers walitoka Ushago, they came to Nairobi. There is rural to urban migration. They are border riders because farming doesn't have money. It is about us giving the conducive environment for agriculture to thrive. Watu warudi Ushago, they grow the maize, they grow the marijuana, they do the Mira. And actually, we are giving Kenyans an alternative. If you're a Mira farmer, continue doing, no problem. But we need Kenyans to know it's not about the government doing things. We won't lie to you. And that is why leaders or politicians lie to us. It's about telling Kenyans the truth. Here is a trade-off between a very bad situation and a worse situation.
I think maybe I think agriculture has money. Sijui kama hapo tutakubaliana, lakini farmers agriculture
coffee.
has money. I will give an example. My grandmother amekuwa ametegemea majani chai. They have brought up, she brought up 8 children. Lakini sai mkulima wa sai analia. So if we restore back our economy, that means hata ule mtu hajasoma ataweza kuongeza pesa kwa mfuko, na tuweze pia kukata hii importation tunaleta ya michele, na kuna project, kuna schemes kama za Moya tunaweza patia wakulima nafasi to boost themselves back, na Wakenya waweze kupata chakula ya kukula. Just like even the maize, people are having maize in the granary. Kwa nini tunaleta mahindi kutoka nje? Tupatie nafasi wa Kenya wajijenge. I believe farming has money.
Yes.
Pia ule akona ng'ombe ananunuliwa maziwa 30 shillings lakini inauzwa 60. Half a liter.
clarify.
Wacha tujaribu kubalance out.
Sikusema agriculture doesn't have money.
You said
but
it.
wait, as it is, the global prices, declining global prices. Sai watu wa Kisii wanasema 1 kg of coffee or tea wananunuliwa 30 shillings farm gate prices. Sugar cane inatoka 4,112 per ton. Sai mahindi 3,000. Na sai ekelea fertilizer. So the input cost of agriculture as it is so costly that you as a farmer, you're not getting money. Na niongea about maziwa, hata dairy farmer. By the way, hemp produces animal feed. So our tukitengeneza animal feed, which is very costly as it is, they impede maziwa production. Kutakuwa na so much milk that Roots Party is telling Kenyans, and we are promising Kenyans, kutakuwa na maziwa ya Roots na mayai ya Roots. Because animal feed will be affordable, Kenyans can take milk as they wish. So our purpose is to reduce import costs in agriculture, but agriculture has money.
No, that one I quoted you, Justina, and I think the pricing right now of the food products is because of a leadership issue. It's nothing that the Kenyans cannot produce. Tuko na mchanga, tuko na maadili. We only need to give Kenyans ile nafasi waweze kulisha Wakenya wenzao. Just that. Let's stop saying ati mahindi it's in toxins, whereas the strategy is kuleta mahindi binafsi, unaleta hapa kwa nchi, unajitengeneza wewe mwenyewe, lakini unafinya yule mkulima ako pale Murang'a, ako pale Kisumu, hawezi pata return on investment. Kwa hivyo let us try to promote what we have locally, because this is a blessed nation.
Justina, in 60 seconds, listening to you, then it sounds like it begins and ends with marijuana farming.
That is part of our manifesto, and agriculture is the core principle in our manifesto. Let me say this, there's snake farming. As it is, 3 Kenyans die out of snake bites as it is. And we have a law called Wildlife Conservation Act 2013. And this gives us the option of having this snake farming as an income generating activity. So even if you go to KWS right now, the law is there. Ours was just to amplify that voice and give options. Like I was saying, 3 people are dying every day because of snake bites. And why? The antivenom we import in this country is from South Africa and India mainly. But there are over 3,000 species of snakes in the world. So maybe the snake that will bite you didn't have that antivenom. And if it's antivenom, 1 vial goes for 13,500. And you need between 5 to 10 vials ndio upone hiyo kumwa na nyoka. So ideally utakuwa na 135,000 ya kupona hiyo snake bite. What is our agenda? Our agenda is to look at what we have. We have snakes around. 1, we'll have the venom industry. This is where unasikianga mtu kushagua amesoma biochemistry, but you don't know where they're going to work. We are going to bring them into this pharmaceutical industry where they are getting the antivenom so that you can compete in the international market.
Right.
And then protect the 3 Kenyan lives who die because of snake bites.
Ruth, in 1 minute, story ya nyoka.
Story ya nyoka ninasema for our government, Agano Party, we cannot deal with snakes surely. Tutafunga kwa compound ama ni kuku tutaweka
There is a law.
Ndio tupate mayai. Then again, how much do we have to wait for this venom itoshe ndio Wakenya waweze kupata medication, whereas we are going to start, probably, if at all they get the chance to lead from 10th, tutaanza kurea from 10th, ama tuko na za kutosha Kenya. What business do we have putting in snakes here?
We have amplified what is there. There is a law, Wildlife Conservation Act 2013. Today is 2022, so it's been there for a while. And it gives this leeway for wildlife snake farming as an income generating activity. Let me tell you, our idea is making Kenya an export hub, putting money in the pockets of Kenyans. Ndio tunapata ile foreign exchange tulikuwa tunaambiwa tukiwa shule, ati Kenya is earning foreign exchange from wherever. So yetu ni ya kwamba, let's get other alternatives, income generating activities for Kenyans and to sustain our export manifesto.
So how much venom do we need probably?
Like I said, do the math. One vial goes for
Mimi siwezi fanya math ya
13,000. You can check, you can Google. One vial goes for 13,500. If we do it locally, we are going to lower the cost. And remember, even your government, if you win, is going to incur the cost of importing antivenom. So why not have our own here so that we can lower the cost and save the lives of Kenyans as we create an industry, an industry for this venom thing. There's someone at home amesoma biochem. Me, unaonanga ama pharmacist, sijui nani. They only sell in chemists. There is no employment. Our target ni ku-employ everyone. Mwenye amesoma asiregret. Mwenye hajasoma kuko na hizi zingine economies anaweza invest in. So yetu ni kuweka pesa mkononi.
Na Bi Justina, ni baki kwako kabla kurudi kwake, na una muda wa dakika 2 kuweza kujibu hili. Kwa yule mtazamaji au mkulima ambaye anakutazama sasa hivi, imekuwa vigumu kwake kulima mahindi yake au kahawa yake, majani chai na kusafirisha nje. Itakuwa vipi kwake ukianza kumwambia sasa tufuge nyoka tusafirishe sumu? Kama hawezi kusafirisha mahindi, ataweza vipi kuuza soko katika soko la kimataifa sumu ya nyoka, fisi?
Haya, niseme hivi. Bangi, nyoka already kuna frameworks na ziliwekwa 2013, tutafuata hizo. But bangi, ile challenge mkulima sasa yako nayo, tukaangalia kama ni farmer, kuna watu wanaitwa KTDA au Coffee Board au wote. They come here, they take your produce, they go sell it and then come back to pay you. Many times wanakuja wanakuambia, you even you owe us. Unaona? And that is why farmers wanakasirika, wanasema hii ni ya nini? Our idea of marijuana, because this is fresh, snakes is in the law. Idea of marijuana is we are going to cut down these brokers, these KTDAs atuataki. Hii tunasema buyer representative anakuja kwa gate yako. If you've sold 50 kgs, we are going to ensure ananunua according to the price, market price. You're given your money cash, as opposed to venye KTDA inapatianga farmers annually. This farmer needs to educate their children, anataka kusustain maisha yake. That is why farming is no longer lucrative. So we are going to cut off the brokers au watu wote wako katikati na buyer representative. Kama ananunua, anakuja kwa farm gate, anachukua produce, anakupatia cash, unajipanga na pesa yako.
Na hao nyoka wataiko wapi? Ni kwamba mtajenga vibanda. Unajua sasa hivi ukienda kule mashambani, kila mtu ana mahali ambapo anaweka kondoo, ng'ombe. Kwa hivyo sasa utajenga pia panyoka, fisi na vitu vingine.
Na hii agenda yetu inaleta msisimuko. But I'm happy because Kenyans are opening up their mindset. Maneno ya nyoka. There is the Wildlife Conservation Act 2013 that stipulates the process and the procedures and the systems. KWS itakuja kwako. You show interest, yeah? Expression of interest. Before they give you a license, wanakuja kwako na wana inspect. So hiyo sitaongelea sana because already the law was passed by parliament. But this is the idea. Unaenda express interest, unaambiwa before upewe license, they have to inspect your premises. Can you afford? So we are going to use KWS, and Kenya is not devoid of experts. Wako, watatusaidia on how best we can cash in on this. Na nimesema, it is being done because we import venom from South Africa and India. They are doing it. Why not us?
Ruth, utafuga nyoka?
I think for Agano Party, our governance, we leave the snakes to the zoo. Tunakuja kuziona, tunaziangalia, tunasoma. That's good for us.
Pesa nayo.
Justina,
Yes.
I'm looking at this from a practical point of view.
Yes.
If you want to introduce, let's say, tea farming or maize farming, you give farmers seeds, fertilizer, and everything else. So what will you give to somebody who wants to engage in snake rearing?
What will we give?
Yeah.
Like I said, Gashori, the law was passed in 2013. KWS, we are not doing it at Yes Justina or Professor Wajakoya. No, there are regulations in place. Hao ndio wataenda na KWS will advise them as it is, mali watatoa hiyo nyoka. Because there's already a research process in place. Wako hapa Ngong Road. Ni a government, it's government owned, na ina support KWS in this process. So what we are saying, hatutapeana nyoka. Justina Wamae or Wajakoya won't go and give snakes. No, we will work with the experts. And Kenya haikosi our experts. We'll work with KWS. But the fact is, we have amplified the voice that this is an alternative income generating activity.
Una la kuongeza kabla
Naona KWS wako na kazi mingi ahead of their government, ya afisi na ya nyoka. For us, we are safe again. We leave them in the zoo.
They were expecting, the law is there, the Wildlife Conservation Act 2013.
Those were just my remarks.
Yeah.
Naam, tuingie katika mada yetu ya mwisho katika mjadala huu wa leo ambayo inahusu kinyang'anyiro hiki ambapo kipo, namna siasa zinavyoendeshwa. Kwa mtazamo wako Bi Ruth, katika muda wa dakika 2, unapoangalia jinsi kampeni zinavyoendeshwa, jinsi uongozi unavyoendeshwa humo nchini Kenya, kama mgeni katika ulingo wa siasa na katika masuala hayo yote, ni kipi ambacho unaona kinastahili kubadilishwa katika namna tunavyojiendesha?
I would say that I have been a leader. One, I will not call myself a new politician in this field. I have been a leader from the time I was a young girl. And I almost actually got into the Nairobi gubernatorial in January 2021, a governor with David Mwaure. Lakini Kenyans and Nairobians know what happened. Iyo maneno ilisimamishwa. So what I would bring in different is to ensure that we get rid of this PR. Tumedanganya wa Kenya for too long. People have been asking hauna experience, but if the cost of experience is what has happened over the years, I'd rather come in as the new option. Mtu le amebadilika, mtu ako trustworthy, mtu ako na nafasi ya kubadilisha maisha ya Wakenya, kushughulikia wanawake, kupa wanawake sauti, even the youth. Wanarika pale nje wametengeneza jobless corners. But tunasema tunahitaji experience. No, I refuse what the stereotypes are talking about. Ninasema sisi tunakuja kuleta mabadiliko. Amkeni wa Kenya. Tunakuja kuleta mabadiliko na uongozi mpya katika hii nchi.
Ni baadhi ya mabadiliko kama yapi ambao unapendekeza Ruth? Kwa sababu unasema kuleta mabadiliko. Mabadiliko yapi? What should change?
Corruption. Francis, corruption is big on us. You know, we cannot be able to change agriculture without curbing corruption. We cannot deal with sports. Look at what happened to Ferdinand. Ni corruption imefanya hii maneno ifanyike. He's a champion. He's going to represent a country. Lakini kuna wale wanatangulia kabla yeye. The person who is supposed to be bringing glory back to us is the person who is last. Is given last priority. Kwa hivyo haya mabadiliko sisi ndiposa tunaegemea upande wa corruption, because it is a cancer in this country, and we need to get rid of it.
Let me give you some 60 more seconds. Haya mabadiliko unayozungumza, how will it affect health? How will it affect the young people who have no jobs? How will it affect infrastructure development na mambo kama hayo?
Tukipambana na corruption, tutakuwa na operational capital. Remember, we'll be able to create jobs for the youth. Kuna wale wamefanya degree, 2,000 of them probably after every year wana graduate. Hawana makazi. Wakienda kutafuta kazi, they're being asked for 3 years experience. It is not bought over a shelf. Tunataka kupatia the graduates nafasi waweze tunapatia graduates nafasi kuweza kuingia kwa makazi with a minimal experience with a minimal experience, which means tunaweka mikakati ya kuweza kuwapatia nafasi kuingia immediately after graduation. There's a graduation program. Na watu kama wa informal sector, tunamsha the industries that have been dead. During COVID, we got to learn that we can make masks we can make locally masks. Kwa nini bado basi tunazileta? To employ wanarika walipo hapa ndani waweze kutengeneza mask. You can imagine we're even importing toothpicks. Situpatie wanarika in the informal sector nafasi waweze kujijenga pia.
Justina, what should change about our way and mode of doing politics?
Let me say this about health. Ukiangalia as it is, if you have, for example, you're told to come for an MRI, to get an MRI scan or dialysis, ukiwa Turkana, you have to come to Nairobi for NHIF to give you authorization for that. Assuming you're very, very sick, so you have to come with someone. You travel from Turkana to Nairobi. Up until 2018, it was working. I don't know why it stopped. You come here to Nairobi, maybe upate watu ni wengi kwa NHIF office, so uende bado ulale, there's cost of even kuspend in Nairobi, and then you go back. What I'm thinking, the change we need in Roots Party, what we are pushing as Roots Party. Number one, NHIF zote in all localities and branches, can they authorize this thing? So that kama ni dialysis, kama ni MRI, we were told that machines were bought. Why should they come to Nairobi all the way from Turkana or Mandera for authorization in Nairobi? So that is the change we want. Number two, doctors are professionals. They should also have their own health service commission. They have been fighting for this. So as Roots Party, we are going to push for that. Wacha wajipange kama Judicial Service Commission, because health is very, very paramount in this country. Another thing which borders on devolution. Our idea as Roots Party is that we've seen that 15% is not possible because national government is not able to give county governments, and county governments are crying. When we say we are going to suspend the constitution, that comes into chapter 11 of devolution. What we want is for the counties, they are already organized in caucuses. Wajipange, they get their own revenue, wagawane according to their regions. They are only going to give national government ya Roots 10%. Iyo, a doctor wa county atalipwa, suppliers who've been auctioned because they have not been paid watalipwa. Unaona, and service delivery ya county will be manageable. So that is the change we are pushing as Roots Party.
Na Bi Ruth, katika kauli yako ya kumaliza una muda wa dakika 2, ni kipi ambacho mtakifanya tofauti na utawala ambao upo sasa katika kauli yako ya kufunga?
Wakenya tunaleta transparency. Wakenya tunaleta uongozi mpya. Tunakuwa, we are the new broom. We are the people who are coming to clean up the corruption. We are people who are coming to stabilize the economy. We are concerned about our youth. We are concerned about the women plight, just as like the disabled, the people with disability. So give us the chance to take care of you. You are our bosses. It's paramount to know that you are our bosses. You are not the subject. So give us the vote, and we shall bring in the change that we have been talking about.
Kauli yako ya kufunga, Bi Justina.
And I called for mindset change when tulikuwa tunaanza hii debate. Kenyans, let us respect the media owners. They have organized this debate. And the purpose of this debate is to give you an opportunity to ask your leaders questions. And here we are. So don't see it like it's something that you're time wasting, ama mulisha amua. No. If you need a different Kenya, a transformed Kenya, this is the opportunity. Let me say this as Roots Party. We might come off as jokers, as not serious people, but one thing we are doing is to push your mind and to ask yourself, by the way, my tribe doesn't help me, but the challenges I'm facing as an individual is what I want my government to help me with. So we are coming in with fresh ideas. We are coming in with the idea that Kenya can do better. Kenya is beautiful. We have athletes who we are always trending that they are doing well. We have musicians who are doing well. But when it comes to leadership, why do we have low self-esteem? Why do we choose people? Why are we scared to go a different direction? So my call to Kenyans is that Roots is different. We are giving you a solution. We are explaining to you where we are going to get the money to run government projects, and we are ready to serve you. So be different. Don't feel like anyone owns you. Don't feel like you're doing someone a favor. And for the 44 million undecided, I hope I've convinced you. And the ones who are decided, I hope I've converted you to vote for Roots Party, because this is the government and the party for the future.
Thank you very much.
Asanteni sana. Mnaweza kupokezana mkono. Thank you. Na wanaposema wahenga, kilicho na mwanzo lazima kiwe na mwisho. Hii sasa ndiyo tamati ya mjadala wetu kati ya wagombea wenza wa kiti cha urais.
Indeed, our appreciation to candidates Justina Wamae and Ruth Musheru, and to you, the audience here and out there watching on television here in Kenya and around the world. Thank you all.
Calling it the Wajakoya effect.
Kidogo nasikia 1 million Wajakoya, 2 million.
Hey. He must be the most genius I've ever seen in my life.
Kwenye comment hapo nataka comment Wajakoya the 5th. Kwenye comment section just give me Wajakoya the